Hey people, on this one, before I start, go ahead and please read the disclaimer on the description and on this video itself. And that's pretty much to say that no, you can't sue me or take any legal actions for watching my videos at your own discretion. So with that, on this one, I wanted to go through and talk a bit about the controversial immigration law that's been passed in Arizona, and just shared some thoughts on that from what I know anyways. And I will say that it is tougher on immigration, but at the same time it is something that had to be done, and that's not me saying I support it or I'm against it. I'm going to defend as much as I can to both sides, and there's really nothing to defend. It's more so of presenting the arguments of the pros and cons of that law. But at the same time, something had to be done, but I believe or thought that the power on immigration and homeland security was pretty much based on the federal government, that they were the one that had the power to pretty much make any kind of decision on immigration and homeland security rather than the local state laws. But I will say this, that law, it most undoubtedly will lead to racial profiling, and that's, I guess, due to one of the inherent natures of the law that mentions that law officer can supposedly pull someone over with reasonable suspicion, whatever that might be, however they define that, and ask for some kind of legal documents. And aside from pretty much an ID or driver's license, I don't know how many people out there drive around with their certificate of naturalization or their citizenship certificates or papers on them. But the main issue with that is that if the law enforcement don't enforce the law or that particular one, then it's on their ass to get legal actions. They'll be sued for not enforcing that particular law. So it's pretty much going to come down to either their ass or your ass, and it's pretty much going to be a matter of them covering their asses for that. So I don't see how that's going to help both ends when, like I said, the cops are going to be paranoid as shit when it's all going to come back to them if they don't do it. And like I said, that's going to be racial profiling, whether citizens or anybody that's not pretty much white, anybody that's a minority. But at the same time, the issue is that if you're illegal over here, you really should have gone through the process. But the fault with that is that the legalization and immigration process also is the problem, in terms of it's not the most prompt and speediest service there is. I know that when I had to get just my certificate of naturalization as proof, because I was already a citizen when my mom got naturalized, and her process took years, and even mine, it took up to a year just to get a certificate, the validation and the proof to verify. It's not going through the entire process. So if they can somehow, take care of that, that'd be one thing. Two, if you're over here, you really should at least try to get the process started. But if you don't have any plans to get naturalized, become at least a legal resident, then honestly, I don't believe you should be over here. That's just how it goes. I'm not against immigration to the U.S. because, like I said, the U.S. is a nation of immigrants. That's what it was founded on. So I don't think the borders should necessarily be closed, but there should be proper entry, and you should start process for being a naturalized or for being a legal resident, at the very least. See here. And it just, I won't say it pains me, it irks me and irritates my ass when we got a lot of prejudiced, racist retards out there that has the wrong way of thinking of pretty much, oh, go back to where you came from, go back to your own country, you're illegal, you're aliens, you're a minority, get the hell out of here, and it's those dumbass racist assholes that I feel makes this nation worse than it is, because they're single-minded, they're supposedly white supremacy, or just whatever the hell it is, and it's like, hell, they all came, their ancestors pretty much came from Europe, Asia, Britain, Germany, wherever. Hell, they can't say everyone's roots is not natively here. Even the Native Americans weren't natively here. They all supposedly came from the Bering Strait, when Pangea, when we were all one continent. Everybody migrated over here. Whatever, See here. Now, let me also say that the other argument on the side is that illegal immigrants are taking jobs from Americans over here. And one of the things I wanted to mention was that a lot of you bitches fail to realize that a lot of the migrant workers are taking really low agricultural, janitorial, lower scale caliber work that a lot of the middle class or non-middle class people out of work refuse to do. I mean, how many of you are going to go be a janitor and go clean toilets at McDonald's, when you deem that, oh, I got a college education, or I'm above that, or whatever, and work for barely minimum or even below minimum wage? So that argument to me never really stood. Now, if there's a lot of you that really do want to do the grunt work and menial labor, because I will say I'm not looking down upon that job, because every job and role in the job hierarchy is necessary. Without those people, the janitors and the manual labor workers, the people in the middle and at the top can't do their work. So every part is integral. And let me say that I have the utmost respect for those people, because they do what they need to do. Everybody, I feel, has roles for their jobs and what they supposedly were meant to do. And so that's going on that standpoint. Let's see here. I guess a quick part of that as well is a lot of people are talking about, well, they need to abolish or change the Constitution, and I think it's Amendment 14, that if you come over here and you're born over here, then you're a citizen, and then they call those kids, where the kids are citizens because they're born over here, anchor babies, and their parents are not, and that they have all their rights and stuff here. I will say that that is a very hairy issue, and it needs to be addressed with a lot of consideration. A lot of smart brains need to get together, not those dumbass politicians, because it really does. What are the considerations that we need to do to adjust for that? And at the same time, I feel that you really need to get the brightest minds in there to work on that problem. That's what they're paid for, come in to solve a problem. But at the same time, you can't really deny the kids their rights for their freedom, but do you kick the parents back? Do the kids go back with the parents until they're 18, then they can come back as a legal U.S. citizen? Do they stay over here? or they separate from their parents. So there's just a lot of factors to consider when it comes to that immigration law and all of the repercussions and everything else. But I'm running out of time here, so I'll end it there, and I'll see you guys next time.